You've got $500,000. Nice. Now, here's the question nobody asks. Did you stop working at 55 or 65? Because that's the real issue. You probably look at 500,000 and think, all right, I'm safe. That's the number. I'm good. That's wrong. 500,000 at 55 is a completely different reality than 500,000 at 65. And over the 12 minutes, you're going to see exactly why, because the fintech industry doesn't talk about this. The reason is simple. Once you understand it, everything changes. You stop following the plan they're selling you. If you're in your mid-50s to mid-60s, making somewhere between 150,000 and 300,000 a year, and thinking about stepping away from work in the next 5 years, this is for you. Ready? Let me be straight with you. You're not paranoid for questioning whether 500,000 is enough. You're right to question it. Most financial advisors don't want you asking that because the answer isn't comfortable. Now, quick story. Back in 1995, a retired couple had about 500,000 in assets, which would be roughly 950,000 in today's money. They felt secure. The market was doing great. 8 to 10% returns a year. Everything looked solid. They felt untouchable. Then 2000 hit. The NASDAQ dropped 78%. They never recovered. Why? Because they got out at the worst possible time. They didn't have income coming in. They had to sell while everything was down. Now bring that to you. You've got 500,000, no paycheck. You need to pull 30 to 40,000 a year just to live. And the market drops 35% in your first year of retirement. What do? Here's how to think about it. Picture your retirement like a pipe. Money flows in from the top, that's your invested portfolio. You open the tap at the bottom, that's your spending. The problem is, if you're pulling money out while nothing's coming in and the level is dropping, eventually you drain the whole thing. That's sequence of returns, risk. And this is the part most people miss. Once you stop working, timing matters more than the size of your portfolio. Let me get specific. Real numbers. Scenario 1, you retire at 55. You've got 500,000. You need that to last 30 plus years, basically until 85. Your expenses? Around 40,000 a year. Honestly, that's conservative given you are making between 150 and 300,000. So you're pulling 40,000 a year. With inflation, that's closer to 50,000 by year 10, 65,000 by year 20. Now here's where it breaks. Year 1, the market drops 30%. Your 500,000 becomes 350. You still need your 40,000, so now you're down to about 310. Year 2, the market rebounds 15%. You're back to around 356. But you pull another 40,000. Now you're sitting at roughly 316. See what's happening? You never actually recover because you're pulling money out while the portfolio is trying to rebuild. That's the trap. Statistically, with a 60-40 portfolio, retiring at 55 like this, you've got about a 60% chance of running out before 85. Scenario 2, you retire at 65. Same person, same lifestyle, but you work 10 more years. Your portfolio grows, let's say, to 750,000 with continued contributions, and now something else kicks in. Social Security. Let's say that gives you 30,000 a year in today's dollars. Now everything shifts. You're not pulling 40,000 from your portfolio anymore. You're only pulling 10. If the market drops 30%, your portfolio goes from 750 to about 525. But your Social Security, still paying 30,000. You're not forced to sell nearly as much while things are down. You've got a buffer. Statistically, same portfolio structure, retiring at 65, your success rate jumps to around 85%, even out to age 95. So what actually changed? Not your lifestyle, not even your investing strategy, just this. You added a safety net. That 10-year delay gave you more assets and a steady income stream. The difference between retiring at 55 and 65, about 25 percentage points of success. That's massive. And there's one more layer most people miss. That 4% rule everyone talks about, it came from research in the mid-90s when interest rates were around 6% and stocks were throwing off about 3% in dividends. Different world. Today, lower rates, lower yields. Researchers have rerun the numbers, and a safer withdrawal rate now looks closer to 3.3%. So let's bring it back to you. On 500,000, 4% gives you 20,000 a year. 3.3%, about 16,500. That's a $3,500 gap every year. Over 10 years, that's $35,000. Money you were counting on that just isn't there. And this is the core shift. It's not just how much you have, it's when you retire and whether you've got something backing you up when the market turns against you. Let's bring this into your real life. Scenario A, you've got $500,000 at 55, fully retired, Social Security around $20,000 a year, your expenses are about $45,000, house is paid off, car is paid off, just normal living. Social Security covers 20, so you need to pull $25,000 from your portfolio. That's a 5% withdrawal rate. That's above what's considered safe. What's the problem? If the market takes a real hit early on, this setup is fragile. There's a good chance it doesn't hold. Now watch how a small shift changes everything. You work 3 more years. By 58, your portfolio grows to around $600,000 even with average returns. Your Social Security is still about $20,000. In today's terms, you're not taking it yet, but it's growing closer to $28,000 by 65. Now you're still pulling $25,000, but from a bigger base. That drops your withdrawal rate to about 4.2%. Much better position. Scenario B, you've got $500,000 at 60 plus $30,000 a year part-time. You didn't fully retire. Maybe you consult, freelance, something flexible. Your expenses are still $45,000. Your part-time income covers $30,000. So now you're only pulling $15,000 from your portfolio. That's a 3% withdrawal rate. That's very safe. Even if the market drops hard, you've got plenty of room. Here's the key insight. It's not about having more money. It's about needing to take less money out. That part-time income, that's your parachute. Scenario C, you've got $500,000 at 65, Social Security around $35,000 a year. Same expenses, $45,000. Social Security covers $35,000. You only need $10,000 from your portfolio. That's a 2% withdrawal rate. That's not just safe, it's extremely resilient. The market could drop 50% and you'd still be okay. Why? Because even though your work income stopped, your income stream didn't. Social Security is still income, it just doesn't come from your investments. Here's the truth nobody says out loud. Between 55 and 65, every year you wait is worth roughly $50,000 to $70,000 in safety. Not because of market returns, because you're reducing risk. You're giving your portfolio less pressure, more time, and more support. And here's the real reframe. You can retire early. That's not the issue. But retiring early comes with a cost, a real one, and it's expensive. If you've got $500,000 and you're thinking about stopping within the next 5 years, here's what you actually do. Step 1, figure out your real withdrawal rate. Take your yearly expenses. Now subtract whatever you expect to get from Social Security. You can check an estimate on the official site. What's left is what you need from your portfolio. Now, divide that by 500,000. That's your real withdrawal rate. If it's above 4%, don't stop yet. If it's around 3.5%, you're right on the edge. If it's 3% or lower, you've got room. Step 2, switch your goal from a number to a date. Don't think, I need 750,000. Think, I'm stopping at 62 when my Social Security is about 28,000 and my expenses drop to 35. A date forces you to think in terms of income, not just assets. And income is what actually gives you stability. Step 3, if you want to stop before 62, create income, consulting, board work, part-time, something light. If you can bring in 20 to 30,000 a year without much stress, everything changes. You go from I need to pull a lot from my portfolio to I barely need to touch it. That shift is huge. Step 4, stress test it the right way. Don't use average returns. Use a bad scenario. Assume the market drops 35% in your first 3 years. Then see if your plan still holds. If it doesn't, you're not ready yet. You can run all of this in a simple spreadsheet in 20 minutes. Do it today. Why doesn't anyone just say this clearly? Because the incentives aren't aligned with you. Wall Street makes money selling you the idea of a comfortable retirement. Robo-advisors, retirement plans, seminars, it's all built around one assumption. You'll retire when you want to with whatever you've got. But if someone tells you, hey, wait another 5 years, what happens? They lose you today. That's 5 years of fees gone. So instead, the system nudges you toward doing something now. Here's the reality. The industry doesn't make money when you feel secure. It makes money when you feel unsure, because uncertainty leads to action, and action leads to fees. Now, you see how it works? You see the mechanism. And more importantly, you understand this. The date you stop working isn't about what you deserve. It's about what you can actually afford safely. And those are two very different things. So here it is. 500,000 isn't some magic number. It's a starting point. Your security comes down to three things: how long you keep working, how much you spend, and when your lifetime income kicks in, like Social Security. Get those three right and you win. Ignore even one and things can fall apart. If you've been following along, this probably shifted how you think about your retirement date. So tell me, are you planning to stop before 62 or after? And here's the next question. Now that you understand all this, what's your actual safe date? I'll break down specific cases in the next video. Hit subscribe.